Most people think they need millions of dollars in order to retire comfortably. They picture themselves working for decades, contributing to pensions, and hoping the stock market will deliver a decent return, all for the hope that after 40 or 50 years, they will have enough money to enjoy the life they always dreamed of. But what if I told you there is a better and quicker way? What if you could retire on just a fraction of what most people think you need, meaning you could do it sooner than you expected? Hey guys, welcome to the Bitcoin Experience. In this video, I want to show you that you don't need millions of dollars in order to retire. In fact, you can retire on much less than you think, and most people don't even realize it. I'm going to break down how Bitcoin's long-term growth in purchasing power can help you achieve this. And as you'll see, it's much more simple than you think. Now, if you get value from this video and you find it useful, it would help me a lot if you gave it a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment down below. And with that said, let's get right into it. When most people think about retirement, they imagine sitting on the beach, drinking cocktails all day, or simply not having to go to work. But that's not the only way to think about it. Retirement doesn't have to mean not ever working again and just relaxing, because that can and will get boring very soon. Retirement, in my humble opinion, is more about having the freedom to live life on your own terms. It's about being free from the constant pressure of working just to cover your living expenses. Maybe retirement for you means choosing to work on something you actually enjoy and brings you fulfillment, even if it doesn't pay a lot or doesn't pay at all. Not everything we do in life has to make us money. Retirement can also be about dedicating more time to your family, taking care of your parents, or spending more time with your grandkids. Or perhaps you would like to travel around and explore new places. The key is freedom to do what fulfills you without the constant worry about money and work. Now, before we go any further, I want to make something extremely clear. None of what I'm about to share is or should be taken as investment advice. This is simply my own perspective based on what I believe is possible. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube who likes to talk about Bitcoin. Please do your own research because this video is for entertainment purposes only. So why do I think you can retire with less money than most people think they need? The answer is simple. Because you can take advantage of Bitcoin's long-term growth potential. Since it was created, Bitcoin has achieved a compound annual growth rate, also known as CAGR, of 147%. This means it has grown at an average of 147% per year, compounded annually over that time frame. Over the last 10 years, Bitcoin's growth has been less explosive, but still remarkable with a CAGR of 77%. Even at its slowest, Bitcoin has still grown at 25% per year, which traditional assets might achieve in some of their best years. And looking forward, people like Michael Saylor expect Bitcoin to grow at 29% per year over the next 21 years. Now let me show you with a simple example how you can use Bitcoin's growth to retire earlier than you thought you could. Let's say you already have $250,000 saved up and can access that money easily. You use that money to buy 2.5 BTC, which right now is around 100k per coin. And let's assume that Bitcoin will grow at a CAGR of 25% per year over the next 21 years. This is less than what Michael Saylor expects, and it's still conservative compared to Bitcoin's previous long-term growth rate as we saw earlier. Then let's say that your living expenses are $25,000 per year and will grow at 5% per year. Here's how this example works out over 21 years. As you can see, in the first year, you start with a savings value of $250,000, living expenses of $25,000. So you need to sell 0.25 Bitcoin, which means you are left with 2.25 Bitcoin. Then in the second year, the savings value has grown by 25%, which means now your savings are worth $281,000. Your living expenses grew by 5%, which means they're now $26,250. But you only need to sell 0.21 Bitcoin, which means you'll be left with 2.04 Bitcoin. Then in the third year, your savings value is $318,750. Your living expenses are $27,562, and during the third year, you only need to sell 0.18 Bitcoin, which leaves you with 1.86 Bitcoin. And as you can see, every year your savings value will continue to grow as well as your living expenses, but every year you will have to sell less and less of your Bitcoin to cover for your growing living expenses simply because the purchasing power of your savings grows faster than your living expenses. And even by year 21, you're still left with almost 1 Bitcoin. And at that point, you only need to sell 0.02 of your Bitcoin to pay for your living expenses. The key takeaway here is that even though you're selling some of your Bitcoin every year to pay for your living expenses, the rest of your stack continues to grow in purchasing power. By year 21, you will still have a significant amount of Bitcoin left, despite selling some every single year. This shows that even with a conservative growth rate relative to Bitcoin's historical performance, your stack is likely to grow significantly in value over the long term. Now, when I say that you can retire on $25,000 per year, I'm sure that many people from Western nations would disagree. But the truth is, not only is it possible, it's actually very doable. And I'm not talking about living in isolation or sacrificing comfort. In fact, in many nice places around the world, $25,000 per year can afford you a very comfortable lifestyle. You can live in Mediterranean countries where the weather is incredible, the food is great, and the cost of living is lower than in other Western countries. Also, there are countries in South America or Southeast Asia where $25,000 per year can afford you even more. I'm sure not everyone wants to retire abroad, but for many, this is a real dream. Now, I'm aware that the example we just went over applies mostly to those who are probably in their 40s or their 50s. People who've been saving for decades already and have managed to reach a nest egg of $250,000 or more. But what about those who are not there yet or are just starting out? Well, they too can use Bitcoin to get there. But instead of taking them multiple decades, they can do it in just 10 years. All they have to do is work hard and provide value to society, live below their means and save as much as possible in Bitcoin, and try to grow their income every year by improving their skills. So let's go over a quick example to show you what I mean. If you start saving $750 per month in Bitcoin over the next 10 years, you will save a total of $90,000. Now, assuming that Bitcoin will grow at a 25% per year CAGR, like in the previous example, after 10 years, your savings could be worth just over $338,000. At that point, you'll have the freedom to make choices, whether it's scaling back on work to focus on your health, spending more quality time with your family, exploring new hobbies, volunteering for causes you care about, or simply enjoying a more relaxed and stress-free lifestyle. The key is you've set yourself up for financial security and independence, and Bitcoin has made that possible in a fraction of the time it would take with traditional investments. Now, again, it's very important for you to understand that this is just my own opinion. Of course, there is absolutely no guarantee that Bitcoin will grow at the rate we used in the examples. However, I personally give it a high probability based on multiple factors, which I will discuss in a future video. And that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me until the end. Don't forget to give this video a like if you got value from it, and consider subscribing for more valuable content. If you have any questions, feedback, or even criticism, please write them down below in the comment section and I'll make sure to reply to every single one of you. Until next time, guys, keep stacking, keep hodling, and remember that a Bitcoin DCA keeps poverty away.